Hi everyone, it's Michelle from Country Morning Creations. I'm here with a flip through of my latest journal, Nana's Roses. I called it Nana's Roses because it's all about roses, and this fabric sort of reminds me of fabric my grandmother may have used to make drapes. It actually is drapery material. It's from a sample pack that I have. This is the paper from the Prima paper pad called Tales of You and Me. And then of course this is a Tim Holtz plate. There's some little music paper behind here. I don't know if I hold that up really closely you can see that, but there's a little bit of music paper behind it and it says Memoir. This is just sewn on muslin. And then I did two different kinds of lace here with coffee dyed seam binding, and then I tied it here with this bow, and then I added this key with a bulb pin here, and then there you can see a little bit of this cheesecloth behind everything. The back is just left plain. You can see that it has you can see more of that beautiful rose pattern. And this is a lace that I found at Hobby Lobby, and you'll see more of this inside. It is a chunky monkey. It has about 124 pages. It has 9 signatures, and I did where I alternated signatures of 3 and 4 throughout this. I like that look, and you'll see a little bit better why once I get into it. And then this is done up with a combination of some vanilla colored satin ribbon, I'll call it, and coffee dyed seam binding. I really liked the look of those two together. So let me get this undone and we'll go inside. I used predominantly images from the old design shop. Some of this is from Nick the Booksmith, and some I believe is from Tsunami Rose and maybe a couple other places. There was a time when I sat down and went through and found all the free sites that have free ephemera. So I probably got some of that stuff off of Pinterest. But most of this is the old design shop. This page, I just did this beautiful paper. This is from Nick the Booksmith. And it comes in her courses if you take them on Teachable. I'll link that down below, her Teachable courses. I will also post a link below to the old design shop. So if you see something here that you like, you can find her stuff. I printed it out on coffee dyed paper, so when you turn the page, it matches everything else that's in here. This is a Tim Holtz stencil with roses, and I think I used Vintage Photo for these. You'll see a lot of this throughout here. I love this. I got this idea from Yvonne Preston. She does a lot of stenciling. Now, I have this so full, it's not going to lay flat open. It is already sold, so I hope that if the owner thinks it's too chunky, you feel free to pull out a lot of the ephemera and it will lay flatter. So this is just some other paper that I had that is coffee dyed. Everything is coffee dyed in this journal. And I acid neutralized the coffee with baking soda. I think I forgot to say this is also done in the Ledger style from Nick the Booksmith. It is a hard cover and it is bound. I've used acid-free glues in all of this. So I've tried to use the highest quality I can. I've sewn a little bit of lace along the edges, and then I have left all these tails probably longer than most people like, but that's the way I like it. So the woman who gets this, she's already bought it, will be able to trim all these if that bothers her. That is not a problem to me. I have 3 of these Tim Holtz pockets, if you will. And this one has a ticket. This is from Nick the Booksmith, and this is also from Nick the Booksmith. This envelope actually, I think, has something in it. Oh, it does. It has a little calling card inside of it. I know. I sound so surprised, don't I? Well, with me, you never know. And then this is another Old Design Shop piece that I've tucked in there. And then we have Edith Holden. I love Edith Holden. So this isn't particularly rose themed, but I still thought it fit in here. And then these are other papers that I've coffee dyed. And for this pocket I put some lace. This is from Old Design Shop, and what I do is I put it on a coffee dyed index card, and then I punch the corners. I have a corner punch that will punch three different kinds of corners. This was one of those printables. I actually have no idea from where that came. This is from Old Design Shop, and it's a telegram. Instructions, and it can be written on the back side. So like I said, I have really packed this. I punched this edge. This is a Roses paper punch that I have, and so I punched the edges of that. And I did use the 5-hole pamphlet stitch for this book. I've gone to using that almost exclusively because I really feel that's one of the most secure ways to do things. Here's some more stenciling. And another pocket. This is Old Design Shop as well, and I stitched it onto some, muslin, and then taped it onto here. This page had torn a little bit, and I left it. I kind of like that look. Old Design Shop again. She has these really pretty library cards. This is a guest check that I just did some layering with. This is Old Design Shop, and this is from Nick the Booksmith, and here's a Nick the Booksmith number. It is a guest check, and this is her washi that I printed out, and this is another Old Design Shop. Isn't that gorgeous? It says, "May heaven crown with bliss thy future hours, and make them bright and fragrant as these flowers." I thought that was such a lovely sentiment. And so we're going to keep going through here. Don't want to bend anything. Some more of that Edith Holden. I thought that was really pretty. Some lace that I sewed on. This is a bag that I put in here. That is empty. And then I have several flips throughout here. This is one that I sewed. This is from Hobby Lobby. Most people use the green, and I liked the off-white to use in my journals. The other side of that bag, and this time I put another one of the Old Design Shop cards in there. Isn't that a gorgeous rose? If I pull it all the way out, it will take me forever to get it back in, so we're just not going to do that. We'll leave it there. And then more of this paper. This is another tag that I made. I did some layering. I had some fun with that. This one says, "These dainty roses, fresh and bright, remind me of a fairer sight than any flower that ever grew, and so I send this card to you." But these are blank on the back, and I have printed them out actually not on cardstock, but these are actually printed on matte photo paper, so they're good quality. This is again from the Old Design Shop, and I think this is one of her freebies. This is a rose from you, so again, keeping with the rose theme. It can be written on in the back, so lots and lots of little things that can be written on and then tucked in different places. And so like I said, the backs of these can even be written on. And you'll see that I have a lot of blank just pages. I love to have tons of writing room in my journals. This is actually some vintage French music. I get my French music from Monahan's Papers. I will link that below as well. Some more of the rose edging. And then I folded this back, so there's a little place you could paper clip some papers or tuck them in. This is another pocket, and I made tickets out of some of the coffee dyed paper that I had. I'm not sure where I got this one from, but I love the color that it prints out on coffee dyed paper. And that's just a rose tag that I made using more paper from that Tales of You and Me, and another book card. So this one opens out, and I just love the pink color that turns out. I've decided I need to do some avocado dyeing so I can print more things out on pink paper. This again is from Hobby Lobby, and I simply glued that down. And I just love it. It's just like this whole trellis of roses. Even my doily has roses on it, so I put a doily in here. This is another one of those Tim Holtz pockets. This is from Nick the Booksmith. This is simply a ticket I made, cutting out some of that paper. This also has a little, I think it's a thank you card inside of it. It is. So that says thank you. And that just tucks right in there. And there's a tag and another piece of paper. I'm not going to pull everything out. We'll be here forever. And some more punching and doily and plain paper. And then this is also a vintage receipt. Vintage French receipt from Monahan's Papers. Another pocket. And in this pocket, this is actually from Nick the Booksmith. And I don't know where I found this, but this is an envelope. This may or may not be Tsunami Rose. Don't quote me on that. But this is definitely Old Design Shop. Isn't it gorgeous? These are just stunning, stunning, stunning. Just images and things like that. So let's see if I can get this all back in there. And I did it. All right, back in frame. So, like I said, tons and tons of coffee dyed paper. Here's some more of that leaf lace and a flip. I had fun with this. So this is another one of those book checkout cards. And this is another guest check that I did. And it, again, I did the, where I glued the coffee dyed seam binding and then took some thread, and this is actually for crocheting. It's a crochet thread, and just tied a little bow around it. And then I also include another Union Telegraph. This one's got like handwriting all over it. So that's another one, and that can be used for, I don't think I have these in the right order. Let's go this way and tuck all those down in there. There we go. So anyway, you can write on the backs of those, like I said, and even on the backs of these vintage pieces, they're not that fragile. They've actually held up well. If you know me, I have to have my tracing paper. Love that crinkly sound. Some more lace. So I've put a lot of hours and love into this book, and I am so happy that it's going to go to its forever home tomorrow, now that I will have this video recorded. Some more, this is another one of those envelopes. This is a postcard that I'm not sure where I got these from. Again, I got that online. And then this is from Tales of You and Me, and I just thought that was so sweet. I had to add that in there with the roses. And then this is just some lace that I've added. There's that rose pattern again, and ledger paper. And again, everything that is a page in here has been coffee dyed. Not everything has been coffee dyed. These I just simply inked around the edges. Another one of these tags that I did, I was playing around and got layers. Even put a stamp of a teapot on it. Isn't this gorgeous? This is Old Design Shop, and it's Majolique au Cristaux de Bohème. I'm actually not, I cannot read enough of this to tell you what it is for, but anyway, it's got a beautiful image of those roses on it, and I just love it. So that got included in here, and instead of actually cutting the edges, I tore them. So I thought that was really pretty. So we have all of those in that pocket, and this is the last of those Tim Holtz pockets. So I have a ticket, this is Nick the Booksmith. These are both Nick the Booksmith, and this is from the Old Design Shop. Some more of the stenciling. I think that turned out really pretty. And we get to the last few pages, and there's a little bit more of the rose pattern. And then there's more of this beautiful marbled paper. And last but not least is my book plate that says Country Morning Creations. So I hope you have enjoyed this flip through of this very chunky monkey, and I hope its new owner will be thrilled with it and have many, many years of enjoying writing in it, because that's the real purpose I make these. I want people to actually write in them, write down their memories, and have fun with them. I hope you found something in here that caught your eye and you would like to try. So I hope I've encouraged you to be creative today. Bye.